Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So few hours ago now Kabam has dropped the full-on details of all the happenings over the course of next month. However, this time it is a bit different because we did get to find out which are going to be the two new champions added to the contest. However, we do not have any champion spotlights, therefore we don't have any ability breakdowns. We have no clue whether they're going to be good champions or T-Rex and Molemans and Ebony Maws. Hopefully not, because obviously Professor X and Apocalypse are two huge names in the comics, and I really do hope Kabam does both of them justice. But for now, we have no clue about that. Now, other than that, which is kind of odd, I hope it is not a permanent change. I hope it's more of an issue of somebody failing to meet a deadline rather than a considered deliberate decision to not release these champion spotlights as early anymore. But anyways, let's just jump on to the entire text and stuff. So next month is going to be obviously mutant themed, with new additions being Apocalypse and Professor X, both mutant champions, and the buff of both Magnetos, which you're gonna get to in a second. And yeah, we don't know anything about Apocalypse or Professor X yet. We don't even have a solid proper picture posted anywhere. We all know that side event is going to be this Treasure Island event, which is looking quite interesting. And the next month obviously is also going to be first month ever with Cavalier difficulty officially making its way into the contest, so I'm really excited for that. Hopefully we can see some nice reward there in addition to this Cavalier level side event. I think that side event difficulty is going to be called Legendary from now on. But yeah, so Magneto buffs. So White Magneto, there's nothing much to talk about. We recently saw all of his ability breakdown. He's far less kind of like impressive on the paper at the very least than his red counterpart. He has some cool synergies, and seemingly he officially gets his name changed from Magneto Marvel now to Magneto House of X, which I actually personally definitely prefer. Now, problems with Red Magneto is that he is toned down from what we saw in the videos posted by everyone in CCP. They have reduced his armor break from level 3s against bleed immune champions from 30% to 20%, but considering you're stacking like 50-60 armor breaks, that is more than likely going to lead to quite significant damage reduction there, because it all stacks up. But again, we do not have any videos posted on that, I believe. Well, at least no videos with that particular ability showcased after the change. And another change definitely that's going to be quite quicker and easier to notice is that he used to have a cap of 40 prowess, 40 small prowess from charging his heavy attacks, and that has been toned down to 30. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I found out about it initially during one of my last live streams, it did really piss me off. Not because I thought that he's gonna be a bad champion, it's just because these changes seemed, especially the prowess cap change, seemed extremely kind of unnecessary. Because as far as I can gather, for most part, this change is gonna be something that is very similar to Namor situation. He just had to be balanced down. That balancing down literally changed nothing where Namor ranks among other champions. Namor does exactly the same things. He's effectively exactly the same champion, just a slightly bit worse. It's kind of like a little sting in there. So I don't know whether it was an absolute must, but I can definitely say that initially it really annoyed me. Now I'm kind of definitely over it. But yeah, it just seems why. It's like, why would you do that? Anyways, then we're gonna obviously have the conclusion of the boss rushes. That's right, we're gonna have this mega boss rush. My guess is that final boss is going to be Nameless Thanos, because he was missing from these boss rushes throughout, and he would have had to be in there if you go in chronological order of all of these event quests and who they had as their bosses. So I think they took him out specifically. That's why we had 30 fights among these 5 boss rushes, 6 fights apiece. And the 31st is going to be the Nameless Thanos. So yeah, I'd actually be willing to put down at least a tenner on that in a nice friendly bet with anyone. But yeah, we're gonna have this mega boss rush, and it had quite decent rewards. I think it had full tier 5 basic catalyst and 10% tier 5 class catalyst selector and 1 or 2 tier 2 alphas. So the rewards are certainly quite solid there. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it, and it's gonna drop already in less than a week from now, so that's gonna be very early in the month. So that is definitely super exciting. Another extremely welcomed addition now coming to Marvel Concept Champions is gonna be ability to sell from stash, which is huge, because that should make selling ISO so much easier. Also selling overflow items. Because now you had to go in your inventory, sell something, then claim it before it expires, and it just kind of like seems a very roundabout way how to do things. And yeah, I think it's a long overdue addition to the Marvel Contest of Champions, and I'm super happy that this is getting implemented, even much more so now that we have champion tag filter. Because currently everybody just goes to Aunt May to filter champions and look out what you need. But this is going to make it more simple, because you're not going to have to use some sort of third party site. In addition to that, you're actually going to be able to filter out for your account specifically, so it's not going to include the missing options, so on and so forth. So yeah, I think it is well overdue. I think this is not where we should stop. I think there should be more different ways how to filter out champions. But this is definitely a great addition. Now we're gonna have some more Act 6 nerfs. So if you remember that we have the champion fight nerf last month, and I think that was it. We had a champion fight nerf and not much else, but now they are reducing attack values from quest 1 to 6. We can see that basically they're just reducing health and attack or attack values in Act 6 across the board. So definitely at some point over the next month, I will do kind of like an Act 6 completion run, just to see what's changed, how it's changed. I'm going to use kind of like my good champions, hopefully, to blitz it through quickly, and I'm going to try and complete chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. We didn't have more than 4. Live on streams for you guys, just so you can actually see some sort of comparisons to how it used to be and how it is right now. And then there are several bug fixes. With bug fixes, they also, for whatever reason, added in the fact that they are adding metal tag, which I wouldn't really call a bug fix, but whatever. So now Red Magneto is going to be even more potent against more champions, and many people are going to be overjoyed to see that he will now absolutely shred Annihilus. Hulk, Ragnarok, Heimdall are also a Nova, quite annoying defenders, and now Magneto is going to go through them much easier. Now, the one more controversial conversation would be about Corvus Glaive, probably, because, well, first thing, Corvus is pretty much a staple in many people's attack team, and now that you're gonna have a much harder time against Magneto, it's gonna be annoying in general, but also the fact that we have Magnetos in map 7 and several of them on multiple rotations, and typically, for instance, that Magneto fight is quite early on in the map, and it's always a fight people ramp up their Corvus Glaive up against. This Magneto, I think he has like Vivified on one variation and other variation something else, but the base idea is that, yeah, more often than not, you use that Magneto fight to ramp up your Corvus, and now that might make map 7 somewhat harder for a large group of map 7 players. So we're gonna actually have to see how it is going to affect the fight itself, because Magneto's ability kit isn't entirely defensive, but his signature ability with damage cap and plus the metal now being tag added to the Corvus Glaive might make that fight not so fun for Corvus. Definitely maybe not an option to definitely maybe, man, that's silly. Anyways, it might be a case that Corvus cannot do that fight anymore, therefore he can't get ramped up, especially if you go in with 0 charges. So I don't know, that remains to be seen, because we have literally 0 footage to date posted how it is to fight against Magneto, and especially how to fight against Magneto with metal champions. and removed metal attack from Gwenpool. And this one's actually funny because like I've seen several YouTubers kind of like discussing why would they do that and whether it's like related to comic books or what's up with removing that metal tag with Gwenpool. And what I believe it is to do is the fact that Deadpool doesn't have a metal tag to him, and the explanation that we initially got was that, and I shit you not, this was a real explanation Kabam official gave on forums a year or two ago, because even though Gwenpool and Deadpool are effectively using the same weapons, Gwenpool uses her swords more, and Deadpool only brings out his swords in special attacks, and that's why Deadpool was not metal, and Gwenpool is a metal champion. So that was a legitimate description. Somebody in Kabam got paid to write up and post on forums. The difference between Deadpool having a metal tag, Deadpool not having a metal tag and Gwenpool having a metal tag was the fact that Gwenpool uses her swords more than Deadpool does. Kabam, right? That's Kabam. That's the Ghost Rider is not incinerate immune line, pretty much. Anyways, fixing issue with the Tide, some other stuff, and Kamala Khan's ability description is actually going to get changed to reflect what she actually does, so that's interesting. And they're changing the description of slow, which I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I'll leave that to some other time when I am a bit more battle ready, I suppose. But whatever, that is gonna be it for the next month of Marvel Console Champions. So Cavalier difficulty, Professor X, Apocalypse, and Boss Rush Culmination. Still no mention of that Summer of Pain or where it's gone. But you know, it is what it is. I hate that phrase. I'm trying to clean up my language, that's it. So anyways, that will do for the video today. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the buttons, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya!